Vardaan 1. The Ultimate Boon. Written by Mr. Deepak Sadia. Chapter 3. The Real Mahapundit. The prophecy made by the monk for Krishna Chandra spread all around with the unwanted help of the neighbors. Following the monk's suggestion, Beli Rama arranged a satsang by placing a pandal tent in the courtyard. There, Pundit Balkrishna started reciting religious stories from morning to noon and from noon to evening. People from many nearby villages started coming to the religious satsang. Most people used to come to see the great man. There is a difference between satsang and religious satsang. Satsang means to be in the company of good as well as wise people. In ancient times, people used to go to satsang for brainstorming. Satsang was the trick to finding an appropriate solution to your big problem in very little time, with the help of other good as well as wise people. Religious satsang means to tell and listen to religious stories in a group. The only purpose of religious satsang is to tell religious stories to the maximum in less time. The people who came to the satsang used to believe that God himself came in the satsang. It is very interesting to know how satsang converts into religious satsang. As people stopped asking questions to pundits, they became blind followers of pundits. If nobody asks you anything, then why you will put your energy into finding answers? Just because of that, modern pundits of old times stopped using their minds by asking basic questions to their acharyas. They kept learning mantras and religious rituals without asking about the purpose and benefits of many basic things. In a lifespan when a simple pundit performed many religious rituals successfully, people started calling him a great pundit. Many simple pundits turned into great pundits without knowing the exact purpose and special benefits of religious rituals. The most important thing was pundits were not accountable for anything. If someone dared to say, "Pundit ji, I am not getting benefits from the religious ritual that you performed," then Pundit simply replied, "That matter is between you and God. I did what I could. If God not giving you your desired results, then either he is angry with you or your family persons were not honest during the religious ritual." As people were blind followers of pundits, they accepted their unknown mistake. Pundits kept giving them new remedies, and people kept performing so until they got their desired results or sat down requoting the pundits, "My sins are pretty heavy. I was the biggest sinner in my past life. I will keep doing religious things, so that I get the results of the good deeds of my current life in my next life." This situation is such that the sinners of the previous birth have to suffer the sorrows of the previous birth in the current birth. These sorrows of previous births are not ending while the current birth has come to an end. That's why do so many good deeds in the remaining life, that the results of the good deeds of the current life are found in the next life. Here the thing to think is that you do not remember the truth of the past life, you cannot know the truth of the next life either. Whatever the pundits are telling you in this life is either related to the previous life or the next life. In such a situation, the responsibility of the pundits ended in this birth. In such a way, the pundits started living an accountability-free life. When pundits were not accountable at all, the criteria to become a great pundit were so simple. One should perform as many religious rituals as he can in the smallest period and become a great pundit. Just like that, many normal pundits became great pundits. Thus a community of pundits was formed who were ignorant of the maximum important pieces of information. When most of the great pundits did not even know the exact reason for performing most of the religious rituals, and the exact reason for using most of the holy things used in yagya was not known, then how would he know the exact meaning of satsang and the exact reason for doing satsang? If pundits did not know the true meaning of satsang, then how could they tell to people? When satsang organizers were unaware, then ignorant common people couldn't join satsang for genuine reasons. Thus satsang became religious satsang for people as well as for pundits. In such a way, a great activity of brainstorming, discovered by the ancient Indians for easy and accurate solutions to problems, became a mere act of devotion. The monk suggested the religious satsang to Beli Rama, as he believed that during religious satsang God himself would come to Krishna Chandra and order him to do the next thing, either smadhi, religious suicide, or renunciation. So no real satsang was practicing in the backyard of Beli Rama's house. The storyteller was telling stories, and common people came to see the great man, because people had attended religious satsang quite often, but the great man was a new creature for them. The great man was the appellation that common people were using for the young acharya. People believed that just by the sight of the great man, their sins would be erased and happiness as well as prosperity would come to their lives. There was also a name Keshava Kumara among the devotees. He could not stop himself from the last meeting with his Gurudev. Calm-faced Keshava was proud to be the Shisha of the great man. He was also sad to lose his great acharya. Krishna Chandra's mind did not support the prophecy of the monk, yet under the custom of obeying the elders, he accepted the prophecy as his destiny. Now he had nothing to do except wait. He sat in the corner of the pandal. He kept listening to the stories while looking down all the time. He always looked silent as well as emotionless. Krishna Chandra did not pay attention to anyone, whether the person was known to him or completely unknown to him. As he was no longer a normal young man for them, they looked strangely at him. To avoid staring eyes, he killed all his remained feelings by himself. No feelings, no attachment, and no pain. Krishna Chandra never used to see anyone, but he got emotional as momentarily as he heard the salutation from Keshava Kumara's mouth. He did not want to lose his diligent Shisha. But he was compelled by the hands of destiny. There was no conversation between the acharya and the Shisha other than the salutation, but a few tears in the eyes of both of them said a lot. To not increase the difficulties of his helpless acharya, Keshava went away. Agitated by the sudden escape of the prince, the guards ran after him. For a few moments, the shocked King Balaba Kumara was left alone without military protection. After going a short distance, when the prince started crying bitterly, only then the king came to know what had happened. Many people used to sit in the pandal. Many others were used to standing in the street outside the pandal. An Akut, untouchable people because of their low caste, girl named Kumari Rukmini was also part of this mob standing outside the house. Kumari Rukmini was coming daily. Like everyone else, her goal was also to see Krishna Chandra. But there was a difference in her thinking and vision. For everybody, Krishna Chandra was a great man, but he was just a man for Kumari Rukmini. The same man whom she loved secretly. Her love always remained buried in her mind because that Akut girl knew her limitations very well. Due to her niche caste, low caste, her infinite love flourished for young Brahman Kumar, Brahman boy, always remained within the surface. When the news of Krishna Chandra's prophecy reached the Akuts, Kumari Rukmini realized that she would never see her beloved again. She was aware that there would be some special reason behind Krishna Chandra not appearing on the streets for many days, but the reality was beyond her imagination. Kumari Rukmini cried a lot, grieved, and sobbed a lot, being helpless. Then she left the house with the desire to have the last glimpse of the beloved. Kumari Rukmini used to come every day, but could not see Krishna Chandra because he always remained in the worship room. After a few days, the pandal was set up in the backyard, and many people also started coming. Then Krishna Chandra came to the pandal. After seeing him in the pandal, her desire was fulfilled, yet something was lacking. Krishna Chandra was sitting in the pandal every day, and Kumari Rukmini saw him every day, yet she was not satisfied. Something was missing. She wanted to look into the eyes of Krishna Chandra for one last time. Krishna Chandra used to come to pandal, but his eyes were always on the ground. Kumari Rukmini's small wish was not fulfilled for so long. The day when the prince came to Krishna Chandra's house turned into the luckiest day of Kumari Rukmini's life. Krishna Chandra could not free himself from Keshava's attachment. He raised his head to see a Shisha like his cousin. The moment he looked up, Kumari Rukmini saw his eyes. Thus the penance of the Akhut girl who was struck by love was completed. There were tears in the eyes of Krishna Chandra. There were tears in the eyes of Kumari Rukmini too. Both of their tears came due to love. His tears were pure. Her tears were beyond purity. Yes, the feeling of that Akhut girl was beyond love. Kumari Rukmini picked up the soil from below, put it on her head and went away sobbing. The crowd found her behavior full of devotion. It was a devotional feeling, not for a great man but for a lover. The days passed, and as the sins of the people were reduced by the sight of the great man, the crowd became less and less. Loved ones and acquaintances also trained their minds, and started considering Krishna Chandra as a memory. When the crowd had reduced to a minimum, Pandit Balakrishna began to bring his 10-year-old grandson Savamanika with him for his education. Grandfather would tell the story and grandson would try to remember it. During the lunch break, when Pandit Balakrishna fell asleep, Savamanika sat down to memorize the mantras. Whenever the clever Savamanika sensed that grandfather was in a deep sleep, he would secretly go out to play with the neighborhood children and return before grandfather could wake up. One such day, while gossiping at the end of the game, Savamanika was introduced to Krishna Chandra through other children. Savamanika could not believe it at all, after hearing such good things about a young man who looked like a lifeless idol. While returning home in the evening, the curious boy wanted to know the truth from grandfather. Grandfather praised Krishna Chandra many times more than the children. From the very next day, instead of stories and mantras, the attention of Savamanika shifted to Krishna Chandra. From the third day onwards he started doing strange things. He deliberately started reading the mantras wrong. For 2 days Krishna Chandra did not even know. On the third day, he came to know and habitually interrupted Savamanika. After that, Krishna Chandra chanted the mantra correctly. Savamanika was very happy to hear the voice of the former young Acharya for the first time. Acharya, will you also explain this mantra to me? Savamanika asked innocently. After many days, Krishna Chandra was very happy to hear Acharya address himself instead of the great man, but till now the emotionless Acharya did not even realize this happiness. Let me tell you the truth, I can't remember without understanding. Seeing Krishna Chandra silent, Savamanika spoke again. Anuj, younger brother, now I am no longer an Acharya, I am just an unlucky person waiting for death in youth. Krishna Chandra replied sadly. Savamanika sensed that Acharya hidden inside Krishna Chandra wanted to explain the mantra, so he was pleased. Then it is even easier for you to do it, because you have nothing to do except wait. Acharya, I request you just to pass the time, please explain it to me. In return for my help, you will also get additional virtue. Savamanika requested with appropriate words. By using specific words, Savamanika turned the former Acharya's grief into a dilemma and suggested a way out. The little but smart boy knew that his plan would not be successful if Krishna Chandra's attention remained on his sorrows. Krishna Chandra got the point of Savamanika. Since he had nothing else to do, there was no harm in helping the child in such a situation. After all, he was indulging in a kind of religious activity, so he will definitely get additional virtue, which may help him to know his path. Krishna Chandra thought for a while and was ready to help the little boy. Krishna Chandra began to explain. By nature, he started enjoying doing it. After 2 lines, he made the explanation more and more beautiful, as well as interesting. The mouth of the Savamanika was left wide open. Savamanika already knew the interpretation of this mantra. More than knowing, he used to explain this mantra very well. The interpretation of that mantra can also be such that he had no idea far and wide. Savamanika thought that if Krishna Chandra had been his Acharya, his knowledge would have quadrupled so far. He realized that the people did not know anything about Acharya Krishna Chandra. Those who know are only a strand, he had just seen a glimpse of the ocean. The boy pulled himself back from the flow of wonderful emotion. Savamanika reminded himself that he was not sitting in class but engaged in a pre-planned task. Acharya, thank you, please do one more thing for me. Just take a look within yourself once, and tell me how you are feeling at this moment? Savamanika asked with folded hands. Krishna Chandra found the child's behavior and questions weird. But once again the boy had asked to do something in which there was no harm, so he tried to check his mood by looking inside himself according to the young boy's wish. At that moment, a big and beautiful smile appeared on Krishna Chandra's face. This smile itself was telling how he was feeling. Seeing that, a victorious smile also adorned the face of Savamanika, indicating that his plan had been successful and the results had come according to his thinking. Looks like I'm breathing after several days, Krishna Chandra said in great relief. Acharya, you are absolutely right. Just looking at you, it seems that you started breathing a few moments ago. Savamanika expressed his true feelings in Krishna Chandra's way. I'm breathing, I'm talking, I am happy, what's going on with me? Krishna Chandra asked shockingly. That I'll tell you later, first you answer my other questions. Tell me, don't you love any girl? Bharatashiri, elder brother, please tell the truth. Savamanika requested like a younger brother. As momentarily as the word girl came out of the mouth of Savamanika, the smiling face of Kumari Rukmini emerged in Krishna Chandra's mind. As a result, the former young Acharya who was waiting for death smiled again. Yes, I do, Krishna Chandra said bluntly. I thought the same. Now tell me, do you see any wickedness in the amenities? Savamanika asked, as he knew Krishna Chandra's answer. No, not at all. Delicious food to eat and a soft bed to sleep on, every living creature has the right. Krishna Chandra replied instantly. Then why have you considered yourself a renunciatory person? Savamanika asked, as he was complaining to Krishna Chandra about Krishna Chandra. A 10-year-old boy had asked a very logical question. The expressions of Savamanika were not that of a child, but of a great scholar. His last words fell like a thunderclap on Krishna Chandra's mind. Suddenly he woke up from his sleep of 65 days. You are a wonderful Acharya. That is your specialty, and as far as I think it is your weakness. The king gave you the rank of Acharya, because you truly deserve it. You are a true Acharya. You probably forgot that an Audiobook teacher can be happy by educating a Chadar student, but an Acharya cannot be satisfied by giving knowledge to only one Shisha. I think nothing else has happened to you. You are only unhappy from within. But whenever your knowledge is donated to more people, only then your sorrow turns into happiness. I think it is because a few days ago when I was sad inside, I got sick. Probably your problem is also the same. Savamanika explained thoughtfully. Whatever Savamanika said was actually the voice of Krishna Chandra's conscience. All the words were coming from within Krishna Chandra, but only coming out of the mouth of Savamanika. The former Acharya gathered his energy, focused his mind, and looked inside himself, due to which he could see the past. Krishna Chandra was happy only twice in the last several months. Twice Krishna Chandra did what was not part of his routine. For the last several months he was providing education only to Prince Keshava Kumara, but on those two occasions he had also educated Prince Trilochana Kumara and the neighboring children. On both those occasions, he felt a new kind of happiness through which all auspicious events happened. Krishna Chandra opened his eyes. Does this mean that I am not suffering from some unknown disease? I did not have any demonic hindrances. Giving special respect to Savamanika, Krishna Chandra asked. Krishna Chandra did so because, for him, there was no greater pundit than Savamanika in the whole Aryavarta. From where I am looking, you look perfectly healthy. Acharya, I do not see any symptoms other than inner sorrow. If you find a cure for your misery, you will be completely healthy. Savamanika also replied in the same manner as Mahapundit, Great Pundit. I'm not going to die, Krishna Chandra asked as someone returned him from the gate of death. At least not for 100 years, that's what your palm lines say, Savamanika replied firmly. Krishna Chandra was ready to dance in happiness just then. His mind was reminded of another prediction from the monk. Renunciation? Fearing Krishna Chandra asked. In one life, a renunciatory person only improves his life, and even after death, he does not make any special contribution to society. But an acharya improves the lives of thousands in his lifetime. Even after his death, the knowledge spread by him continues to spread light in the lives of millions. Now you decide whether you want to become a renunciatory person or an acharya. Savamanika explained everything in simple yet effective words. Holy Ganga tears started flowing in the eyes of Krishna Chandra. He worshipped the feet of Savamanika with wet eyes and with a grateful conscience. Savamanika picked him up and hugged him with great respect. Krishna Chandra paid thousands and thousands of bows to this 10-year-old Mahapundit. My lord, what should I do now? Krishna Chandra asked Savamanika, as he would do whatever Savamanika would say. I think for now you should go into seclusion and calm your mind. After that, you will be able to meditate properly. Won't tell anyone. I did the same thing. But for a few hours. Savamanika advised him instantly. Meditation, what do I need to meditate on? Krishna Chandra asked surprisingly. That question asked by Krishna Chandra gave Savamanika a sigh of relief. Savamanika's entire planning was for that only. He had a wish and his conscience told him that only Krishna Chandra could fulfill it. There is nothing that you need. The need is not yours but mine and every man in this world who wants to know the difference between truth and falsehood. Savamanika told his truth emotionally with folded hands. Krishna Chandra was stunned by the words of Savamanika. I didn't understand. Krishna Chandra expressed himself in genuine words. Savamanika took a deep breath, as he knew Krishna Chandra would not understand him in one go. Ever since I started getting an education, many kinds of questions come to my mind, Savamanika said, and waited for Krishna Chandra's reaction. What kind of questions? Krishna Chandra asked eagerly. Krishna Chandra knew that the 10-year-old boy was much wiser than his age, so Savamanika definitely had some interesting as well as important questions. The strange questions, either their answers are not found or they are not satisfactory. What is truth? What is an illusion? What is a rumor? What is reality? Nothing is understood. Are you getting me? Savamanika asked hesitatingly. Savamanika thought that Krishna Chandra might not understand him. Not really, but you carry on. Krishna Chandra replied honestly. Take your case for example. How much did you suffer because of your situation? You brought yourself to the door of death. Think why this happened. Because of ignorance. Krishna Chandra replied thoughtfully. Yes, Acharya, I think that what we are taking as knowledge is also ignorance, because there is negligible evidence of its validation. In my opinion, simply accepting someone's saying as truth is not to be called true knowledge. For me, that is either incomplete knowledge or completely false knowledge. The bad consequences of which have to be faced from time to time by people in trouble like you. Savamanika explained in one go, as he failed to control his emotions. You are right. The basis of knowledge should be rational like science. The search for knowledge should also be done through scientific methods. Former Acharya gave his opinion instantly. It was an indication that the youngest scholar of Aryavarta had few doubts in the past. Acharya, at this time in the whole of Aryavarta, no one else can do this work better than you, because I have heard from the mouths of many great gurus that your words are based only on facts. Your knowledge defines the ground's reality. Only you can study impartially and impart knowledge with completely authentic facts to society. This will not only give peace to your mind, but will also liberate so many seekers like me. Acharya, you can give a new direction to our society." Saying this, Savamanika fell at Krishna Chandra's feet. Krishna Chandra immediately picked Savamanika up. "To be able to do that would be proof of my good luck," Krishna Chandra said, as he accepted the request of the youngest Acharya Savamanika. Mother came to the pandal with a basket of fruits, but there she did not see his great son. When she raised an alarm, everyone started looking for Krishna Chandra. They met the smiling Mahapundit Savamanika. He was returning after sending Krishna Chandra off to the village border. Everyone accepted Krishna Chandra's sudden disappearance to be a renunciatory person.